Before we get to the content, we like to encourage you to join the conversation in the comments down below. While you're down there, consider subscribing to Utah Jazz DNA. Smash that like button for your boy Darren.
That's right. All right, man. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, man. The first subject we want to talk about is, well, last week, AJ, we talked Summer League, right? We discussed our guy, the future statue himself, DP, our first impressions of Darryn Peterson and how he played. And, some good, some great, some not so great. But overall, we saw what we needed to see from our number 2 pick in this iconic draft.
Absolutely.
So now that's done. Summer League games, now we're into the Summer League games that really matter, right? The ones that are in Vegas, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've got the ones in Vegas. So we had what we would call the most important Summer League game of the year, AJ.
Yeah.
And this is DP versus AJ. I guess the rest of the teams did show up too. We know that they did come it's one of those things where some of the players didn't show up, but we'll get into that later. Darryn Peterson against the Washington Wizards scored 24 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 for 18 shooting. Not great shooting night as the Jazz lose and let's be honest, another game that doesn't really matter or mean anything. But it's not like we had this one over 2 years, right? So, how would you compare this one, AJ? How would you compare the game against AJ?
That's actually kind of
it's tough to say. It's
kind
tough
of a
to get
weird
it
thing
out
to say. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, Dibanza had a great game. I mean, they did get the win of this game, 92-88. Dibanza ended up playing 26 minutes, had 27 points, had 7 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 assists, and 1 block. So he ended up going 7 for 18. Key little note there, he did go 0 for 5 from 3-point range. So, maybe something to be worried about. I guess only time will tell on that one. But Dibanza showed great vision in this game, man. I mean, he did a good job finishing through contact. He really made some tough plays. It was a really good game for AJ Dibanza, especially being his first one for Summer League. But as far as Darryn Peterson, that's the guy that we're actually here to talk about. You know what I mean? I like how DP he kind of took the game at his own speed. He never seemed rushed. He never seemed out of place. He just kind of took what was given to him. He did take a couple mid-range floaters, kind of Mike Conley-esque, which is a shot that, a lot of guards are going to need in the league, right? You're going to have pockets where you're not being defended. You've got to be able to shoot the ball quickly from those spots. He showed great speed, and he really he just got to the shot, took the shot that was given to him. I love that he used both hands using that floater, and this kid he always looks so comfortable scoring the basketball, and it's so refreshing to just have somebody that looks like they're never out of their place.
Right.
So I loved it. I liked what I saw to that first game. It was really good to see.
Didn't he have 8 turnovers in that game too?
I want to say, 7 or 8 turnovers in that game.
Yes. So he had 8 turnovers in game 1, 8 turnovers in game 3. And you know what that tells me? That tells me, and if you watch this game, which was pretty crazy, I got a chance to watch most of this game. And if you were watching this one, AJ, there was so much double teaming of DP.
Most of the game was him being double teamed. Absolutely.
You can definitely tell that Washington had one game plan coming in there, and that is trapped DP. They watched his first 2 games, and he basically just had to constantly adjust to the double team. It might have caused a few turnovers there.
But as a Jazz front office, you absolutely love this dude.
Yeah,
because
they're testing him early.
Test him early, and the thing is he's going to be a focal point of the offense throughout the NBA season too, right? Teams, depending on how his first couple of games go, teams are going to be saying, okay, we need to get a double on him, right? Like you're not going under any screens with him. Like he's going to see a lot of this stuff really early in his career. So to start with 4 or 5 games into Summer League, love it. You want to see this kid get tested early and often. No,
I 100% agree with you, man. And one of the things I thought was crazy is how they set that up. You could tell easily that that's what they were doing.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that he was able to get some AJ in the Summer League, all you really care about is can the guy make tough shots in traffic?
Yep.
And that is exactly what we saw from DP, which I absolutely love. We'll go ahead and get into that a little bit more later, but let's go ahead and talk against the game against the Clippers. So we talked our number 1 disguised as the number 2 against the number 1. Now we're going to talk about our number 2 up against the number 5, which was actually against the Clippers, who we, AJ, called that would have been the Jazz number pick at 5 if they did fall to 5 in this draft, right?
Yeah.
And that is Keaton Wagler.
Yep. Yeah.
Wagler? I've heard it both ways.
Yeah. I actually have heard it both ways. Wagler and Wagler.
Yeah, Wagler.
Yeah.
The rest of the team did show up too, as well. AJ, DP did score 23 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, was 6 for 18 from the field on this one. Now tell us, AJ, how did our guy compare to K-Dub?
K-Dub looked good, man. He had a pretty good game also. I mean, he played 28 minutes and scored 23 points. A lot of his scoring came from the three-point range. He shot 4 for 7 from 3, but he only shot 6 for 16 from the field. So of his remaining 2 makes, one of them was on like a pretty tough bucket. Wagler showed good range though. I mean, in precision from the 3-point line, he looked really comfortable shooting the 3, especially in that third quarter. So I don't, he doesn't look anything like Darryn Peterson. You know what I mean? Like just from a skill perspective, these are 2 very, very different players. And it's kind of crazy to think the skill difference from a number 2 draft pick to a number 5 draft pick, because Darryn Peterson very much looks NBA ready, right? I mean, he just, throughout the whole game, he didn't have a great scoring game, but just looked unguardable at moments, right? He played great defense. He blocked a couple of shots. His first step is so quick. He does a really good job just kind of getting to his spot and knowing exactly what he's going to do with the ball in his hands, which is really refreshing. His pull up and spot up threes are just so much fun. He is just deadly from those points. He just can score the ball so well. I don't know. I'm really excited to see him paired next to Keyonte, because of all of those skills that he possesses on and off the ball.
Oh yeah.
So
more on that to come a little bit later.
Yeah.
Before we move on, man, I wanted to bounce something off you.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of talking heads on the radio over the last little bit here, AJ, about resting during the summer league, right?
Yeah.
And the Jazz have done some of that with the same with Peterson, right? But they talked about how the Washington Wizards just shut down AJ and just said, we saw what we needed to see out of this guy. And, a lot of folks were saying how that's pretty much nonsense, we've seen all we need to see out of them. While I agree to some extent, but these are rookies, right? Like, you can't improve. Do they already not have any need for improvement already? You're telling me that, AJ DeBenza and DP are ready to go, ready to roll into the Hall of Fame right now.
Yeah.
It's like, I know these games don't really matter, but that's the best time to develop a player is when you can get up to 10 fouls, and you're playing against in games that really don't matter. And
you can coach them really hard too.
Yeah.
Right. You can really harp on about being better on defense and being more aggressive. And then when they commit a foul and they come over, because the other player's shooting, you can say, hey, in the NBA, you've got to move this way, or you've got to move that way, or you got to keep your hands up, whatever that is. Right. So you can coach these players really hard. You don't got to tell them to go out there and give everything, but go out there and give it all on defense for, the first quarter. And then I want to see you score the ball in the second quarter. And then I want to see you get 5 assists in the third quarter.
Right.
You can coach these guys and you have a really good opportunity to get them better with NBA level players, which they're not going to get until the NBA season starts.
Yeah. And I 100% agree, man. I think you're a rookie in this league and you have a chance to develop.
And you haven't proved anything.
You haven't proved anything in this league.
Yeah.
I don't care what you got in NIL. You needed to prove something. And, if you're playing in the summer league and you're not a rookie, that's a whole nother situation. In fact, we'll get into that here really soon here. But the last thing I want to see is our guy miss part of his rookie year because we try to develop him too much in the summer league. So while I understand that concept of, you should play as much as you can in the development league, but, in the case of AJ, I think he did have calf strain. And I think in the case of DP, they're just being very careful about the whole, issue with Kansas and making sure that we're not pushing him into that too,
I get the health concerns. I understand that for both of these players, them being healthy is an integral part of their season. But also, you can't do that through a whole NBA season if you want to be successful.
Right.
Like, are you telling me that 4 or 5 games is their make or break point?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. I just think in a game that doesn't really matter, you don't really need to put somebody out there for another game when you think you've seen what you need to see out of them early-wise before,
Let us know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments down below.
The reason why is I really kind of would have liked to have seen Darryn Peterson play against that kid that Chicago got.
Oh, Caleb Wilson.
Caleb Wilson.
Yeah.
That
well,
kid.
deep. He's available tonight.
Yeah, I doubt he plays.
I doubt he plays, but he was available. They didn't scratch him.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought it'd be awesome because that kid looks really good. I think
Wilson looks real good. Yeah.
Wilson was probably a guy, if you redrafted it, would probably be top 3. From what from what it's looking like right now.
As of now, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Boozer.
Boozer looks really good too.
Boozer
man.
looks great, man. I think he fell in the perfect spot for him.
Yeah.
In Memphis, because you've got that Zach Edey kid there. That's just going to be at center. That's going to handle all that rim protection. And if the Jazz would have got him, he wouldn't have been a good fit. But he's got that 7-footer that's just going to handle all the center. And
he can almost play like point forward from there, which is a really good spot for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, speaking of playing in summer league, AJ, so there's a subject we need to talk about there that maybe shouldn't be there. But let's go ahead and talk about We talked about players that should be there that maybe shouldn't have been, and let's talk about a Jazz man who started 41 games last season, 21 games the season before that. Started, AJ.
Started.
Yes.
On an NBA roster.
Yes. Going into their third NBA season. Jazz Nation had an interesting piece that they brought up, and this is actually also on Locked On Jazz that was touched on by Leaf Tulane. Cody Williams, man, is back for his third stint in the Summer League. The Jazz, I think, are definitely trying to send a message here. So let me ask you, AJ, have you seen what you think we need to see out of Cody Williams in this Summer League so far?
I actually do think so. I think that we might have seen, and I think we might have seen enough from Cody Williams in just the Salt Lake Summer League. To be completely honest with you, I don't know if he even needs to be in Vegas. I think the Jazz are mostly using this to get a little bit of, feel with some of these guys. Obviously, they want to go out there and give the experience to some of these guys that they might be taking a further look at. How do they play with NBA caliber players? The thing about Cody Williams, this dude's a freak athlete, man. He's got crazy body control. He showed some really good stuff on the defensive end, and really the big concern for him coming out of college was going to be how is his quickness and can he get past somebody and beat somebody to score a basket? Still a concern. Okay, he hasn't necessarily fixed that, but he is good enough and big enough that he is tough to guard. Right at 6'10", 6'11", he does handle the ball good enough that he can put you in a really awkward position because he sees the floor really well. He can shoot over top of you, and I just really think that because of that, I mean, he really worked on his shot over this offseason. His shooting stroke just looks so much more natural. He seems to be way more comfortable shooting it. Which is a very good sign, especially for this Jazz team that's going to need his size and strength and, what he brings to the floor. I think that they saw what they needed. I think he's out there just kind of going through the motions with this team that could use, a little bit of, at this point, Cody Williams is a quote unquote vet compared to some of these guys as far as NBA experience. So I think that's kind of what they're doing. We can't give up on Cody Williams' potential. I mean, he has the size. I do think that he wants to be a NBA caliber player, and that is really important. And I think that's the reason that the Jazz haven't given up on him. I don't think as a fan base we can give up on him. This guy is just really something special.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think the Jazz definitely did send a message here, though.
Oh, I think so.
I agree. Hey, you started 41 games last year. We still haven't seen enough out of you to really warrant your position on this team. We're going to need to see something more.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the message they gave to him. And do I think he performed well.
He did.
His best game was actually against AJ.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, that's kind of where I want to lead into on that. But yeah,
he did get AJ blew the doors off of Williams a couple of times, just left him standing there flat-footed. Like, what are you doing? I mean, you shouldn't be able to fake one pass in the NBA and then just go past a defender.
Right.
So, is there work to do? Yes, but I think he has enough of the raw skills that the Jazz do feel like, seeing a couple of things in Salt Lake Summer League might have been enough. Let's send him to Vegas. Let's let him work out with these guys. Let's just let him keep getting reps, keep getting comfortable, because he shot good enough in Salt Lake Summer League that it's like, okay, can he do this in 3 or 4 more games? Right? Because maybe that is what we needed to see. We need to see if he can score the basketball that effectively, in 5-6 games, because his shooting stroke does look much better. So My question for you, do you think he will be more of a defensive asset for the Jazz or an offensive asset for the Jazz?
I mean, you got to go defense, right?
I think so.
I mean, honestly, year over year, we're seeing increasing stats for him on efficiency across the board, right?
Yeah.
With the exception of 3-point shooting. The best game he's had was actually against, the Bullets, where Williams finished with 16 points on 6 for 12 from the field, 2 for 3 from field, 2 for 3 from 3, and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals, AJ, and 1 block in 30 minutes. That's a Karolinko stat line right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm talking about? So the one thing I like about that is I think he's contributing well. If he's contributing well defensively, that will incentivize his offense and only increase his offensive production. The more he contributes on defense, and let's face it, that's going to be where he's going to be, right? Leaf Tooley mentioned this when he was filling in for David Locke. He mentioned this as well. It's like you need to find a role on this team where he's going to be playing. He's going to be surrounded with 3 or 4 shooters on this team on the floor at any given time. So let's say he's on the floor with Collier, Ace, Bryce, and Hayes. You know, where are the buckets coming from? Who's going to have the ball? Where are the touches for Cody, right? Cody's going to have to create a lot of his own offense. He's going to have a lot more say on like offensive rebounds for putbacks, defensive rebounds, creating transition opportunities for himself to come down. I don't see, no matter which lineup you put him in, plays aren't going to be ran specifically for him. He needs to be able to be the guy who's wide open in the corner for the dump out for the 3. I think that's where he's going to be needed. His 3-point percentage actually dropped last year from the year before, which is not great.
Not good. Yeah.
But again, like I said, he performs much better offensively when he's performing defensively. It's kind of hard to ignore that 4 steals. Yeah, he got blown by several times from AJ, but that's AJ Debansa, man. You know, he's kind of already that guy.
Absolutely.
You know, like, so he's going to be a defensive test for him, and I think that's perfect because that's what this kid needs. He needs to prove himself on the defensive end. He needs to be able to say, okay, I'm going to be the best wing defender on this team.
Yeah.
And then I can mold myself into that 3-and-D guy, first guy off the bench that's coming in for either the 3 or 4 and kind of, operate that way versus coming in and that saying, okay, I'm going to be the offensive guy who's going to run the pick and roll, high screen pick and roll, and dive to the basket. He doesn't have the speed for that. And honestly, he hasn't really put on the size, in my opinion, to really do that too much. He's still going to be that corner 3 shot versus, and maybe transition buckets, I think is where he's going to thrive. But I think it all starts for Cody on this team, how he's going to be an asset. It's going to have to start on the defensive end if he wants to be on this team after the trade deadline this year.
I 100% agree. I think that if Cody is going to carve out a place for himself on this team, it has to be on the defensive end of the floor. The Jazz have a ton of offensive weapons. They just drafted an offensive weapon. Arguably all 5 of the guys in the starting 5 can score the basketball. Mm-hmm. Right? Like every one of them can score. Even Nurk, depending on who you decide, we did a couple of videos on it, but even if it's Nurk can still score the basketball. He's a great offensive weapon because of the way he sees the court. He can push assists out. Like if Cody wants to come in and make a difference on this team, he's got to be able to come off the bench and give great defensive minutes and hold it down so the Jazz don't lose ground on whatever opponent they're playing, right? You can't come in and be a net negative on the defensive end.
Right.
Because it's only going to hurt this team. Now the starters got to come back in, or whatever lineup's got to come back in. They've got to score some. If you come in, play great defense, get into a good rhythm, and then come down and shoot the 3 ball, that's Royce O'Neal, but at 6'11", right? That was his whole thing. He wasn't a massive scorer. He shot the 3 ball. He was a great defender. You could play him against the other team's best player. That's the kind of role that Cody Williams is going to need to be successful on this team.
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree with you absolutely on that one. Let's go ahead and hit a few of these comments here because McKinley's jumping right in on the conversation here.
Love it,
man. Thanks for being here. I'm not sure I saw what I need from Cody. I wanted to see a little bit more defense. Yeah. We don't need him to score. We need him to be our stopper. We need him to bring in
for the spot minutes and to disrupt the other team.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I think you're aligned with what we're saying there for sure. And just didn't see him look any better than some of the G League most of the time. He has had flashes in some games, but just wasn't enough for me at least. And I'm going to have to back him up on that one. This is his 3rd year in the league. 21 starts in his rookie year, 41 starts last year. this guy needed to look like a minimum, boys, and he just really didn't show that in the summer league, at least not in my opinion.
And I think it's really weird because it's not that he does anything that's bad. It's just that he doesn't do anything that's good.
Yeah, he's not standing out.
He's almost like a chameleon out there, right? He's just blending in with all the other things that are happening. When he gets the ball, it's not magic every time he touches it. When he's defending, it's not magic. There's nothing that just really there's no bright shining light on Cody Williams. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. There's been comments by Will Hardy into the media that says that Cody Williams does all the things that you need for a backup NBA player because he comes out there, he gives you effective minutes, he does the things he's supposed to. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. It's like he just goes out there and it's like there's no spotlight on him, but he's not hurting anything.
Right.
Yeah.
What's what you want really out of this guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's you don't necessarily want to be drafting. Like a player doesn't want to hear that he's a backup, right, in the NBA.
Yeah.
But at this point, he hasn't shown us anything up beyond that, right? Here's another comment we got from McKinley. I didn't see him getting minutes over Svi or that guy we brought in, Josh
Okogie, who's a defensive stopper and 3-point shooter. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. And that's kind of the point. Like, when are we going to punt on this guy? Is it too soon? I think it is.
It's too soon.
And like I said, he's not going to be getting a whole bunch of touches, right? He's definitely not going to be getting any touches when we have a backcourt of DP and KG3 on the court at the same time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that does kind of bring us into our next conversation.
That was a great transition, buddy. Great transition.
It's like I've been here a while,
Yeah.
It's like I've done this before.
You've done this before.
So let's talk about the backcourts, right? So we have the Jazz have a unique chance right now, AJ. And if the Jazz are smart, and if you watch this channel, you know exactly what we're talking about when I say that. If the Jazz are smart, they have a chance to have a very special backcourt coming their way. This team has had some good ones, AJ. Mm-hmm. We might as well start with the best in franchise history the franchise has ever had, which is John and Jeff, man.
Yeah.
John Stockton, greatest point guard of all time. Yes, I said it. Fight me. And who also would have thrived in today's NBA, Jeff Hornacek, right? We all know John Stockton, who he was. He has 2 records that were set that will probably never be broken: all-time assists and all-time steals. In case you're new to basketball, and then the other thing is you got to look at Jeff Hornacek. The Jazz couldn't get over the hump and get really deep in the playoffs until Jeff Hornacek came to this team. One of the things you can say about this duo is that it's the reason why I say this is the best duo in Jazz history is the only time the Utah Jazz has ever made it to the finals was when John Stockton and Jeff Hornacek were in the backcourt. It is the only time.
Yeah.
And they actually made it to the finals, AJ. Horny was 33 and 34 years old when he made it to the finals.
That's wild.
John Stockton was 34 and 35 at the times when they made it to the finals.
You guys were old.
Exactly. When they actually got over the hump, right?
Yeah.
So that just tells you how important Jeff Hornacek was to this team, right?
Yeah.
Stockton played in 7 straight All-Star games, made 5-time All-Defensive NBA, and easily the best 1 and 2 backcourts in the NBA they've ever had.
Yeah. I like to think of a little bit more recent. When I'm thinking potential best backcourt, I don't go back quite as far as the late 90s. I'm thinking back just, 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, what about the 2021 Utah Jazz when they had Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley? Mitchell was averaging 23.9 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists. Mike Conley during that same season was averaging about 14 points per game, 6 assists, 3.1. Did have an all-star selection that year, the only one of Mike Conley's career, even though he'd been 12 years prior with the Grizzlies. So this Jazz team was really good. They were a really good NBA team. They posted the NBA best 52 and 20. Yes, it was a COVID-shortened season. And they also had the NBA best net rating at plus 9.3. Now, it wasn't necessarily due to these 2 players because obviously they did have Rudy Gobert on that team, who was, mildly known as a defensive stopper, not stalker.
Crazy.
But so these 2 guys really, with what they did together, this was on a team that was really good. These 2 played really well together. Conley played well off of Donovan Mitchell. They both applied a lot of pressure, and it was really, really fun to have those 2 guys on this Jazz team a couple of years ago. I mean, that was one of my favorite times ever to watch Jazz basketball because they were winning a lot and they were fun to watch. Donovan would drive, kick it out to Mike Conley. Conley was always sinking threes. He ended up shooting like 39.4% from three from that season. So, which is just crazy. So it was a really fun team to watch, and maybe not the best backcourt, but I think it was one of my favorite backcourts, that I've watched in recent Jazz memory.
Oh yeah. I really loved watching them. The only problem is they weren't together long enough, in my opinion. John and Jeff, they were together 7 seasons.
Yeah, they were together 4.
Yeah. And I just think that they weren't there together long enough to really.
Sorry, 3.
Yeah. I was thinking it was shorter than 4.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, they could have been together longer. And, Mike Conley did miss that 3-pointer that would help push them further in the playoffs. Would
have been nice. Yeah.
John Stockton made the shot that sent them to the NBA Finals. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
That historic call.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I would have to agree with you, man. I mean, obviously we didn't talk about Darryn Williams because the best duo he ran was with him and Ronnie Brewer, I think is all we researched and couldn't come up with.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty brutal to find the Darryn Williams partner in crime.
Kind of feels like Darryn got a little bit of D-Will, got a little bit of
got a little shafted.
Didn't really have a good
sure.
running mate, So it's kind of interesting, man. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, man. I think the Jazz are in a very unique position to have these two together for a while, right?
Yeah.
And when you have these two who are actually from the same agency, right? They both are represented by the same agency that have their shared interest in each other, right?
Which is great news for the Jazz.
Yes. So you're already working well. If fingers crossed, if the Jazz work well and handle what they need to handle when it comes to Key's contract and get that done.
Yep.
You're going to put them in a nice position to make, DP want to continue his career here, right?
Yeah.
'Cause that's the problem is the Jazz will. Oh man, sorry guys, if that's coming through, the water main outside my house broke, so we're gonna totally.
We're gonna power through it, buddy.
We're gonna power through it.
Yeah. For all we know, they can't even hear it. Yeah. We can hear it.
We can hear it quite well. Let us know if you guys can hear them like digging out.
Yeah, leave us a comment.
Yeah, let us know.
If you can hear the jackhammering outside.
Oh my gosh, it's so great. McKinley, he had a couple of 2 points, so 1 round and 0 assists, 1 game. I believe you're talking about
Cody Williams.
Cody Williams
Absolutely.
There. Yeah, absolutely. We got Dexstar 4097. I do feel a lot of DP's issues can be fixed through conditioning. Yeah,
absolutely.
NBA conditioning and NBA medical staff that knows the difference between creatine and whatever actually was happening to him might actually go a long way.
We did a video on that. If you didn't see it, make sure you check it out.
By the way, one of the most watched videos on the channel. So thank you guys very much for that.
Yes.
We also have another one here from McKinley. Let's see here. This team was way deeper and more balanced than that Mitchell team. Also, thanks Donovan and Rudy for getting the pieces to build this team. 100%. Great comment. Comment of the show right there.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Donovan and Rudy, we wouldn't have the team we had at all.
Yeah.
So that's great. I like that. That's
true. Those trades gave us everything that we have to be the team that we are currently excited for.
Yeah. We still have some of that draft capital coming our way too, which is amazing. Comment here from McKinley. Maybe Keyonte will follow Wemby's lead and take a discount to help the team. I don't know, man.
I think you always hope for that kind of stuff, but I don't.
When do you want
these are 22-year-old kids, man.
Let me ask you that. When do you want him to take the discount? I don't want him to take a discount now. I want him to take the discount. I want him to take the discount.
If he's going to take the discount, he's got to take it this year.
I don't want him to take it this time.
Well, he's got to take it this year because if he goes into restricted free agency.
Well, no, for the contract, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so if we're going to extend him now because his percentage of the cap is smaller.
Yes.
Now than it would be in his next contract, which would be
especially
higher.
if he goes off and makes an All-Star game this
Supermax,
season,
right? So
or something, yeah.
Like, do we want him to take do we want to pay him out now, or do we want to have him take a cut now and then demand a Supermax later?
Yeah.
When we're having to pay everybody else. So it's a good question. We have to see what happens there for sure.
Yes.
I don't know, man. It's a lot of fun to talk about this kind of stuff, man. We're getting close to the dog days of summer. I think there's a game today, and there's a game, later in the week, I think.
Yeah, I think there's one on Friday.
Yeah, for the summer league, and then it's the dog days of summer for the Utah Jazz, where we're just going to look for headlines on when they're going to extend Key, and hopefully.
Let us know if you guys got any crazy ideas you want us to spitball, fire back and forth to each other. We'd love to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Before we get into that, AJ, before we move on, there is one more thing I wanted to bring up with you.
Okay.
Did you see this BS that happened in the summer league with Keyonte George not being able to assist coach in one of the games?
I did.
Yeah. So the interesting part about this, Derek White, Boston Celtics. White stood up as the official assistant head coach, was wearing a coach polo and everything on the bench and ran timeouts with the Celtics during their summer league game. So he was allowed to do it. Keyonte George arranged the same thing, was supposed to serve as an assistant head coach on the July 9th summer league game opener against the Washington Wizards. However, the NBA stepped in and blocked the move before the game, citing the rules. There are rules preventing active players from coaching.
So was Derek White not active?
He's an active player.
I know, but maybe he was injured?
No, he's available.
Maybe he fell down the stairs.
Nope, he was available.
Okay.
He was available.
Maybe the league just hates the Jazz. Oh, hey, look
McKinley,
at that.
Right on time, buddy. Right on time.
Nailed it.
Yeah. So the primary difference between the two is that the Boston Celtics are taking a better ask for forgiveness than for permission, and the Jazz did things the right way. They actually went through official league channels and were explicitly denied. So
was that when Danny Ainge was with the Jazz, though?
What do you mean?
Did the Derek White situation
No, that's this
happen?
year.
Oh, that was this year?
Yeah. This year,
That's crazy.
Derek White was able to suit up as a coach this year.
Oh, I was thinking it was
And
like
they
a
were like, no,
few
sorry.
years ago.
No, this was this year.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't seem fair at all. My apologies. I misunderstood that.
Yeah, so the NBA is basically saying, the reason why the Jazz got denied is because they actually asked for permission. We said no, and then the Celtics just did what they wanted to do. So great justification there from the front office there at the NBA, but I think it's a load of crap, and I just think they're
Thanks, Adam Silver.
going to do whatever they can to dick the Jazz down, man.
Oh, they are. Yeah, no, we've seen that as Jazz fans multiple times.
Yeah.
Hey, we did move up in the draft this year.
Yeah, first time in Jazz history, and probably.
And if you're ever going to have a time to move up, why not this year, buddy?
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, we've got, I think we talked about our last week's show. We got Ace Bailey, who should have gone 2 or 3 the year before, but because of, his representation there, they tried to steer him towards DC. Why is DC involved in all these?
I don't know.
Crazy, right? So they tried to steer him to DC, so he would go there. So he fell in the draft. We called the bluff and took him anyway. So we got like a number 2 or 3 pick.
With 5.
With number 5. And then we got a number 1 pick with number 2. So we got our first and second pick out of these 2 years.
Yeah, we're not upset about this.
I am not upset about this at all. I think this is a successful rebuild. Do I think they needed to do it a little sooner? Absolutely. Because then, gosh, imagine if like Cooper Flagg or Wemby was on this team too. Oh my goodness. But that's a story for another day.
Another day.
Yeah. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below when it comes to everything we're talking about. When it comes to the Utah Jazz, I'm super excited, man. Fall can't come here soon enough. October, ready to get into it, ready to see these Jazz players go out there and give it their best, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Dude, I am too. It's going to be a fun season to be a Jazz fan. Make sure you guys stay tuned in for more Utah Jazz content right here on Utah Jazz DNA. Thanks for watching. We'd like to encourage you to join the conversation in the comments down below. While you're down there, consider subscribing to Utah Jazz DNA if this is the type of content that you enjoy. While you're down there, smash that like button for your boy Darren.
That's right. Yeah. So great chat on Jazz there, man. It was a lot of fun. We'll go ahead and jump into our next little subject here. We're going to talk a little bit about Major League Baseball. I guess that's the problem. We should have said something, and we just ended this stream. And it dropped down.
We're done here.
Yeah. Last week, it worked a lot differently. Last week, we said we were going to end it, and then we kept the live. There were still 15 people in here for the majority of the show, and then I think we just cut off half of our audience. So sorry about that, guys. Probably should have been a little bit more specific on that. Let's see here. Got a comment here from Greg Hawkins. I missed the start, had a beer and fell asleep. Getting old. Right there with you, buddy. Right there with you. Cheers to getting old and taking a good old nap, man.
Absolutely, buddy. Make sure you go back and rewatch our Utah Jazz content.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
It was good stuff this week. Good stuff this week. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it and talk a little bit about Major League Baseball, shall we?
Yep.
But first, before we get into the content, folks, we'd like to encourage you to join the conversation in the comments down below. While you're down there, consider subscribing to Major League DNA and make sure you smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
Do it.
All right, man. That was awesome just to leave that Greg's chat up there that whole time. So, Greg, get a little bit extra airtime there.
There you go, Greg. You're welcome, buddy.
Yeah. again, appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining us live here on Major League DNA. We are live streaming this channel. Not on this channel. We're live streaming this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap. This channel needs a little bit more subscribers before we can start live streaming on it. So, hey, we appreciate you guys. Please subscribe to Major League DNA so we can get us there so we can live stream on this one too.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. That's the goal.
That's the
goal. Live stream on all of them, man.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. So, Darren, I got to jump right into this, man.
Okay.
I got to get into it, okay? For the record, just a couple of weeks ago, your Dodgers looked like the team that every single team expected to cruise towards another World Series run. But now, the Dodgers have dropped 7 of their last 12 games, including getting swept by the Arizona Diamondbacks, okay? Right before the All-Star break.
Yep.
And then suddenly,
keep calling it on, man.
Suddenly, everyone's starting to ask the question that nobody thought they'd be asking. Are the wheels coming off, Darren? Are the wheels coming off? Because it isn't just the losses that we're worried about here.
No, it's
You
not.
know what I mean? Shohei was scratched from his scheduled start with knee irritation. Then he announces he's going to skip the All-Star game. Tyler Glass now still on the shelf. Blake Snell's working his way back through rehab. Will Smith is dealing with an injury. Just feels like every time you check the news, there's another key Dodger that's unavailable.
Yeah.
So, is this just a rough stretch that every great team goes through? Or are the Dodgers in trouble, my friend?
Oh, my gosh, man. So if you're a Dodgers fan and you're watching Dodgers games, game in and game out, you definitely feel like the sky is falling on this one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not a Dodgers fan. And every time I watch a Dodgers go, I'm like, Darren's going to be pissed.
Exactly. And we'll get to some of these comments here later because I definitely want to get into those for sure. But yeah, I mean, you're spot on there. It definitely feels like the sky is falling. Kike hurt, Glasnow hurt, Snell hurt, Will Smith hurt, whatever's going on with Shohei, right? This team who won the World Series last year and the year before, back-to-back champs, decided, AJ.
Nice plug.
Yeah, decided, AJ, to go out and sign the top free agent talents available. The top position player was Kyle Tucker, $60 million salary, drastically underperforming. Some would argue that it's almost impossible to perform to that level of contract, but he's definitely falling short of that. And the Dodgers also went out and got the best free agent closer available in the market, Diaz, who, again, I use the term available, but he hasn't been available for most of the year. We've had multiple bullpen games due to all the injuries to our starters. And we've had 3 different catchers, AJ, start the game. One had to start after he had a tragedy in his home country during the earthquakes and everything. He found out last minute that he lost 2 members of his family, still had to make a start. That's how thin we are at that spot. You mentioned last loss a lot of the last 2 series. We made more errors, AJ, in the last 2 series that they played going into the All-Star break than they did the whole first 2 months of the season. We committed more errors in the last 2.
That is brutal.
That is very, very brutal.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, AJ, the Dodgers right now that are currently 3rd in runs scored, 2nd in all hits, 1st in OPS, 1st in OPS plus, 1st in runs allowed, 3rd in team ERA, the best record in baseball, and the best run differential. The Dodgers, AJ, will be adding after the All-Star break a crap ton of talent after the deadline without making a single move.
Yeah.
Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell will be back. Diaz will be back. Fireman Phillips, already back. Kike, ready to come back. Will Smith, the best catcher in baseball, is coming back. I just mentioned half of an all-star team right there, AJ. This team has played more baseball in the last 3 seasons than any other baseball team basically in history. They know what it takes to win, and they're not panicking. God forbid they do something crazy and trade the deadline and add Screwball, who was sighted in L.A. over the weekend. This team has not looked right all year, AJ, and yet they are still top in baseball. Anything can happen in a 3-game series, so this team needs to make sure they have the top record in the National League by September, but the Dodgers are fine.
I'm glad to hear. I do think they will be okay. It will be, just like my Braves, like honestly. The Braves started out as the hottest team in baseball, and they went through a rough stretch, and we lost a couple pitchers, we lost a couple position players. These things happen. Major League Baseball is a really, really long season, and you're going to have players come out and go back in. And the best part is you get to see some young guys that probably needed an opportunity, and you get to see those guys play and, know they can play at the MLB level, and then you've got more assets. So it's like you're almost replenishing your asset pool by having players go down because you're like, okay, well, we just saw this guy play great baseball for 4 or 5 games that he wasn't supposed to play. And now he's back down in AAA. Someone's going to be begging to take that guy and put him on an MLB contract.
Oh, yeah. And I could even take it a step further. There was a player that the Dodgers had who was putting in serious innings in the World Series last year. Actually started a benches clearing brawl in the World Series when he threw it, what's his name's hand there. And he made it as an all-star this year. This was a guy who's supposed to be not even in the rotation at the start of the year if everybody was healthy, and Roki Sasaki was pitching like he should be. And that would be Robleski.
But Roki's going to be just fine too.
Eventually, who knows? But Robleski's going to be the guy, right? Robleski's going to be that guy. He that you mentioned. He's a guy who should be a bullpen arm that should be in AAA right now. But no, he was the only Dodger pitcher to have 10 wins before the end of June.
Yeah.
Since Clayton Kershaw did it in 2016, and he's absolutely shoving. He got to be an all-star. He got to strike out the side in an all-star game.
Yeah.
It's just to your point. I think it's really funny, man. We did all that work to acquire Kyle Tucker, spending all that money for him, all that money for Edwin Diaz. You know what addition the Dodgers made that actually has been like the best addition they've made all year?
Which one?
Eric Lauer. He's a pitcher from the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays released him, and the Dodgers signed him and said, we'll see what happens. That guy's put up 5 or 6 straight quality starts for the Dodgers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Eric Lauer.
I clearly don't watch enough Dodgers baseball. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I am a Braves fan, so
yeah, it's okay.
A little hard to. I do watch the Dodgers anytime they play the Braves.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to be famous.
We're still cool.
Another team. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Hell yeah.
So we got a free exposure time. Anytime, buddy, for you.
We got you.
Yeah. Incredibly unsatisfying All-Star game. Did you catch any of this?
I didn't even watch it, dude.
Okay, plus and minuses. Plus and minuses. Okay, first of all, Netflix does not have any business being involved in anything regarding sports.
Any live sports, dude. They are
honestly so terrible.
I think that was probably my biggest turnoff to watching the game was that it was on Netflix.
Well, just the home run derby was.
Oh, it was just okay.
Yeah,
I was thinking
the All-Star game was on Fox.
Maybe I misunderstood that because I was thinking the All-Star game was going to be on Netflix too. But I was just like,
yeah, you're watching the home run derby. It's on Netflix, and you know what they said? You know what we hated last year. Because you would hit a home run and then you had to pan. You wouldn't get to see the ball go out because you had to pan back because the other pitch was coming because it was timed.
Yeah.
They said no more times. We're changing it. Netflix actually put this rule and changed it towards swings. Each swing counted, and that's what total swings. If it was a home run, still counted as a swing. Unless it's your last swing and you hit a home run, you can keep swinging as long as you're hitting a home run.
Yeah.
Great format. But while they're doing this, AJ, and while they're hitting the home runs and hitting bombs and tracking them going out, they decided to take that time to do a celebrity interview and stay way close on looking at a manager and a close-up. We're not even watching the home run derby over here. We're watching something else. So, yeah, they had a great idea, terrible execution.
Yeah, you're like, this was fantastic idea. You guys are doing nothing with it.
Yeah. And the All-Star game, 4-0. Bellinger got early 2-run RBI hits. And then it was pretty much, and it was funny because they kept miking people up. That's one thing I never want to see again. Do not mic up a batter. Oh, what happened there?
It's okay. I'm not a real person anymore.
Do not, let's get that squared away here. Let's get that squared away. I don't like where that is.
Sorry, guys. We got a new camera, so we're still adjusting to life.
Yeah.
As we know it, medium.
So we'll get there.
There we go. We're back. Your hand movements are changing the whole camera, Darren.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just need to... I thought that was turned off. I guess it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But anyway, so, yeah. In the All-Star game, it was boring, 4-0. And even Bryce Harper, he's like, I guess we're going to see what we're going to do here. These pitchers are coming up and throwing one inning. Robleski is not known as a strikeout pitcher, but he struck out the side.
Yeah.
Because he's a starting pitcher who go in there and let it eat for an inning, right? And then you could throw almost triple digits and you throw a wicked slider that they're not going to be able to catch up. No one's
But
hitting
especially in an All-Star game where you're only throwing one inning.
Yeah,
Like, go out there and
everybody's
get
gonna
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be that way. But it's really funny about that is even though it's lackluster, and I 100% agree with you there on that, AJ, still the best all-star experience in professional sports.
Oh, I agree.
When was the last time you watched a Pro Bowl?
Absolutely not, dude.
The NBA All-Star game was supposed to be the best pickup game in basketball, but LeBron killed it. The day, Kobe slapped the floor and he refused to go one-on-one with him. He passed it off. That was the end of it. There's no more. All-Star game was no longer what it was.
Well, nobody wants to watch an NBA All-Star game, dude.
No.
It's the absolute
fun
worst.
anymore.
Like, there's absolutely no defense being played. Like,
No.
and then it's who can make more shots. That's the only thing an NBA All-Star game is anymore.
Yeah.
There's no competition.
They're talking about trying to figure out ways to change it. And here's another problem. We had an All-Star game where
we know how to fix the NBA All-Star game issue. We talked about it.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about that. But in Major League Baseball, even though it's not a great game, it's still the best all-star game available in professional sports. We didn't have the Miz pitching. We didn't have Skewball pitching. We didn't have Verlander pitching. We didn't have, gosh, you keep going down the list, Cam Schlittler. And I think even the Phillies, Zach Wheeler actually complained about it. He didn't get selected the all-star game because he had to start the day before. So he wouldn't be eligible to pitch, so they didn't select him.
They're like, sorry.
Yeah. I'm just like, even in the case where the pitchers were dominating the hitters in the All-Star game, we still couldn't get a good All-Star. We still even have our best pitchers in the game, arguably.
Right. Yeah.
No Yoshi, Yamamoto.
Didn't the Miz make it last year? Yeah, I mean,
he started.
I know he made it this year, but he started last year.
Yeah,
right?
he started last year.
Yeah.
And, that's the other problem, dude. No Chris Sale, even though he's there. Can't pitch because he started too soon before the All-Star game. Wasn't available. So we had our great pitchers not able to pitch. So how do you fix this, right? Fastballs only. That's all you get.
Nothing that's going to hurt your elbow.
Yeah, it's fastballs only, no movement. Yes. Yes, but now. I love that comment. Not sure what that means there, Tammy. Friend of the channel, you have to let me know on that one. The Dodgers are 3-7 out of their last 10 right before the break last year. Interesting.
Wow. That is some great info, Tammy. Great work.
That's a good poll right there.
That is.
Greg Hawkins, Dodgers aren't going anywhere. They'll be just fine. Let's see here. Yes, having the home run derby on Netflix sucked too because I totally forgot about it. I don't open Netflix when I want to watch sports.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, dude! If you're trying to watch baseball this year, you're like, is this one on Peacock, NBC? Is it over here on Netflix? Is it on Fox Sports 1?
MLB TV, buddy?
Even then, they're blocked out, dude. If it's on ESPN, it's blocked out. You won't get to watch it on MLB TV.
I haven't had any issues.
That's because your team's not on national television a lot.
Wow.
But yeah, it comes up
the only time I can't watch it is when it's on Apple TV, but I have Apple TV too, so I just
and then you have, what about Peacock? Do you have Peacock?
I don't know if I've had any games on. Yes, I do, but
yeah. So you got to have Peacock. You have Amazon Prime. You got to have Apple TV. You got to have, you're like, Jesus, man, it's ridiculous.
It is.
100% agree with you on that one, man. But yeah, man. So we're talking about all the things that the Dodgers are going to add without even making a single move at the trade deadline, and that got us thinking, AJ. Let's go ahead and pivot over from a team that is not fine to a bunch of teams that aren't fine, shall we, AJ?
Yeah, that's probably the best way to transition that.
So we got less than 3 weeks till the trade deadline. We both picked a team in the NL, just in case we want to open this up and do another one for the AL.
Yep.
That we feel have to be sellers at the deadline. Since we're talking about the NL West, I'll go ahead and go first.
Yeah.
I'll go with my team that I say needs to be sellers, which is the San Francisco Giants, AJ.
Yep.
San Francisco Giants, at the time of recording, are 19 and a half games back in the division, which they would be in last place if a team like the Colorado Rockies didn't exist. Right now, as it sits, the Rockies have less than 1% chance to make the playoffs, according to Fangraphs. The Giants reportedly have made everybody available at the trade deadline, with the exception of the rumor is they're not willing to trade Logan Webb or Jung-Hoo Lee, grandson of the Wind. Coolest nickname in baseball.
That really is.
Everyone else is they're shopping right now, and dude, some of this stuff is absolutely embarrassing when you actually break it down. Rafael Devers
No thanks.
This guy signed that massive contract. Remember when they didn't sign Mookie? They didn't sign Xander. They're like, okay, we'll give it to
We're
Rafael.
all in on Devers.
We're all in our Devers. You're
Yeah.
our third baseman of the future. You're the face of the franchise. Oh, by the way, we're bringing in, what's his name? Bregman to play third. So
How
we're
do you
gonna
feel
need
about
you.
playing outfield?
How do you play about being a DH? He's like, no, I play third. He's refusing to DH.
Yeah.
They finally convinced him to play DH, and then he's like, oh, okay, we don't need you to DH. We need you to play first. And he's like, no, I'm not going to play. Stop moving me around. I'm like, and naturally he plays first base for the Giants, and he's got a massive face of the franchise contract. And they just traded for him last offseason, AJ.
And they're like, no, we're going to go ahead and.
We need to trade him now. He's got this massive long-term contract, and it's only going to get worse with time. Yeah, dude. So he's like the first one they're going to try and get rid of, and I don't know who's
Good luck moving that one.
Yeah, who wants that? Who needs a third baseman or a first baseman? Like everybody's probably got a young stud in the minors that's willing to swing. That could swing it.
And that will probably come to the team and absolutely love it and have a good attitude and just do whatever you ask them to.
Yeah. Not
weird.
Not need to have the owner come down and say, "Hey, we'd be willing to DH." That
Madness.
contract's not going anywhere.
Madness.
Yeah. And the next one is Matt Chapman, third base. Actually, statistically, one of the top defensive third basemen in the league right now. Although his contract does have a no trade clause, which will complicate some things there. Matt Chapman, solid third baseman, right?
Yeah.
He's not having the best offensive year. Definitely a player that I see could probably be traded. But yeah, also, again, a guy in his mid to late 30s, it's going to be tough to move a contract,
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's playing right now. He might be hurt. But yeah, not a great move, man. Not a good one. Do you guys need a third baseman? Do the Braves need a third baseman?
No, they don't.
No.
No, we have Matt Olson.
Yeah. No, he's your first.
Oh,
baseman.
I'm sorry. We have Austin Riley.
There you go. I'm like,
Yeah. Sorry.
both bases are
corners.
covered either way.
Yeah.
Both
yeah,
bases
we're
are covered.
we're good. I mean, Austin Riley's having a little bit of a down season, but
He's allowed to have one. He's basically carried that team for like the last 5 years.
and he's just such a stud.
He's a good dude. I like Austin
Yeah.
Riley. He's always been like my sneaky MVP kid.
And he's such a good third baseman too. He makes so many good plays throughout the year.
And then the next one is Willie Adames. Again, another player that they added to this team to be the difference maker. Shortstop that they actually got from the Brewers. He's also being viewed as available. He's got another long-term contract that will require San Diego to potentially eat some of that salary to actually get him to be able to be moved. So, yeah, I mean, there's your top 3 stars on that team, all been made available, according to rumors. This is, Buster Posey, great, one of the greatest catchers in Major League Baseball history so far. Not a great front office guy. He's trying to win press conferences, not actually win games here. Now, according to Yahoo Sports, here are the ones that are most likely to be moved due to the fact that their contracts are expiring. Luis Ariz, he plays second base for the Giants. This is one of the best contact hitters in baseball. He's coming up for free agency at the end of the year. He would be a prime rental candidate for anybody who's contending. This guy has actually had the batting title several times. And it's funny that this guy's never stuck with a team for more than a year or two.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, when you had the best batting average in baseball, but I guess, just no pop. He's just not hitting for power, mostly singles, so it's just kind of crazy. And then obviously Robbie Ray, left-handed pitcher, he's going to be a free agent as well. Veteran arm, anybody who's looking to bolster their rotation towards the playoffs, which, again, obviously the Dodgers are one of those, but I doubt they'll be training.
I don't know what it is. I just don't like Arraez. I just don't like his face.
Robbie Ray?
No, Arraez.
Oh, Luis Ariz?
Arraez, yeah.
Okay.
I just don't like him. Every time he comes up.
He's just a tough out, dude. And you're like, oh, this guy.
He is.
It
yeah.
feels like he's always up, too. Like, I swear, he gets
I swear he hits 8 times a game.
Yeah, he's always up, man. Every time you're playing the Giants, you're like, this guy.
And you're like, why are we in this position again? Like,
Yeah,
2 on, 2 out, and this is the dude that's on.
Trust
up.
me, you would love to have him on your team as the 9-hitter.
Absolutely.
But
he hits with
resets the
0
lineup.
power, dude.
Yeah, he'll
Like,
either walk or get on base with single. Like,
Yeah, it's like you almost have to play all the outfielders up because he's not going to hit it over your head.
No, but honestly, if you could afford to have this guy in the 9-hitter as your team, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Where does he play?
He plays first. But he's going to be he's playing second. But he would probably on the Giants, he's not batting 9th.
Right.
There's a bunch of other players that would be batting lower in the lineup. But
Yeah.
on a team like the Dodgers, he probably would be batting 9th. But yeah, again, just don't like the guy.
I just don't like him.
Yeah. Who do you got?
Sorry.
Who needs to be
So-
a seller?
Seller's the deadline.
We gotta get this. We gotta get this one here there too. Comment there from Michelle McKinnon 403. Don't like his face. AJ, it's true.
It's just what it is. I
It
just
is.
don't like his face. Okay.
I agree.
So I'm going to go with a team that we've talked about quite frequently on this show. How about the New York Mets, who
LOL Mets, man.
their 2026 season has been a massive disappointment, right? Entering the All-Star break, they have a 40-57 record. They are last place in the NL East. They have virtually no chance of making the playoffs, 0.09% to be exact.
Ooh, nice
After
pull.
playing well below expectations. Even Francisco Lindor, right? This is a guy that's been a part of this franchise, called the first half of their play unacceptable and admitted that the team's performance and his performance have fallen well short of the organization's expectations. So with the postseason's out of reach, right? The Mets have to shift into seller mode. I mean, ahead of the trade deadline, they got veterans like, Brooks Rowley, AJ Minter, Freddie Peralta, Clay Holmes, and they've got a couple like relief pitchers that are going to draw interest. They have to look into it. I mean, even the bigger names like Francisco Alvarez and Lindor himself, these guys have already surfaced in trade speculation. So the front office, they've pretty much got to change gears, look towards rebuild in 2027. They got to go out and get some young pitchers. They do got Nolan McLean, who's had a great couple seasons, a great stretch heading into the All-Star break. So I don't know if it's necessarily so much as will the Mets sell? It's really how much of this team are they going to move?
We've talked about this several times, and I said that the problem with that team is Francisco Lindor.
Absolutely.
You trade away Nimmo, you trade away McNeil, who's a great second baseman, and you brought in Simeon from Texas, who's one of the best second basemen, best in the American League.
But he's really struggling hitting the ball this year.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter when the clubhouse culture is toxic.
Yeah.
And you don't.
It's tough to play baseball.
It's not. Yeah. You're not having a good year when your double play partner on shortstop is not working with you. This guy's driven away players several times.
Yeah.
And currently he seems to not be having a good relationship with the current face of that team.
Yeah.
Which is what we'll get into in here in a minute. But I don't know, man. I'm 100% right. I think the move is they're talking a lot about. They're talking a lot about that they might want to trade Lindor, and I think. They already traded away everything to keep Lindor. If you trade Lindor now, you're admitting that 10-year contract you gave him was a mistake.
Yeah.
And honestly, it might be time to admit you made a mistake. I don't know. But beyond the Lindor contract, AJ, I mean, who's probably the best tradable asset on that team?
Oh, the most tradable asset on that team is absolutely 100% Juan Soto.
Yeah. All right, you want to intro this one?
Yeah,
Okay.
I sure do, actually. So with that being said, the rumor mill's already heating up, right? I mean, the one name that's surfaced in connection with the New York Yankees has been Francisco Lindor, right? But with the Mets spiraling and kind of becoming this team that I think will be sellers at the trade deadline.
Should be sellers at the deadline.
Should be sellers, right? You got to wonder, with Juan Soto not being happy and signing one of the richest contracts in baseball history, was the move about getting paid? And now that his excitement's worn off and he's kind of realized, like, hey, life with the Mets isn't exactly what I expected. Being the star and the face of a franchise is a lot different than I expected it to be. Is there a chance that he kind of looks at, maybe just throwing, a sticky note out like, the Yankees aren't a bad team. and Aaron Judge is a pretty good player. I didn't mind playing over there. So now that he's got his contract, he got it in the terms he wanted, in the years he wanted. He got the suite he wanted. But now the Yankees know that's what he wants. Is it time that he maybe thinks about going back to being Judge's shadow, his 1-2 punch, his two of the 1-2 punch? What is up for what is best for Juan Soto at this point?
I don't know, man. I thought we were going to be the first ones to start this little rumor mill.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we were not. I just saw it on Yahoo Sports about an hour before we got here.
Yeah.
That the Mets should trade Juan Soto. We're not the only ones who were thinking that. I do think, though, AJ, that talking about trading Lindor and everything like that, yes, but the better contract with the better talent and the younger player is Juan Soto.
Yeah.
And when you talk about trading Juan Soto, there are very few teams. Everybody would want Juan Soto and be willing to trade their entire franchise, their entire, farm system to get this guy. But there are very few teams that actually have the financial capability
Absolutely.
of being able to absorb that trade, right?
Yeah.
The Yankees are definitely one of them.
Yeah.
They're definitely in the need for that 1-2 punch. When Judge isn't there, they've spiraled out of control. They're looking up at the Rays right now. I mean, he was one of the players there, like you mentioned, the 1-2 punch that helped carry that team to the 2024 World Series.
Yeah.
Now, Stanton helped a lot in the playoffs, but right now, Judge hurt, Stanton hurt. You don't have any big bat at the top of the lineup. You're relying on people like Bellinger, and
And Bellinger's a great player, but he's
Goldschmidt.
He's not a team he's not a guy you can put the team on his back and say, we need a hit here. We need a win here.
You need that big lefty to go along with the big righty. While all these pull something out of the Dodgers handbook, let them be injured all year, just be ready for October, and then you have the big three of Stanton, Judge, and Soto available at the top of your lineup. Probably Judge, Soto, and Stanton.
Did any pitching lineup just absolutely dread seeing the top of?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just like, oh no, here we go.
Unless you're the Dodgers and you have your bullpen, take it down. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I 100% agree, man. I think that this makes too much sense for me.
Yeah.
Right? It makes too much sense. There's going to be other teams that could be in on him, that would want Juan Soto, and they could probably trade for him. Like the Red Sox come to mind. They're definitely a team that could use a player like Juan Soto at either DH or find a place for him in the outfield. But, honestly, dude, it just makes too much sense. He loved playing. When was Soto's best aura as a player? Wasn't with the Padres, right? Wasn't with, he did win a World Series with the Nationals in 2019 as a rookie, right? But when it comes to if you sign this contract, you want at least another ring out of this guy.
Oh yeah.
So where's he got a best chance to win one? Not with the Mets, that's for sure.
No.
And you can imagine the haul that the Mets could get for this guy.
It's just massive.
Yeah. I don't know how spent the Yankees farm system is right now. I'm not a huge New York Yankees fan, but in my opinion, it makes all the sense in the world for if the Yankees can make it happen, dude, you make it happen. Right?
Yep.
He's not happy in New York. He played with the Padres and got along with that team just fine.
Yeah.
That's a team that has issues in the clubhouse. When you have both
consistently too.
You have Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado going out in the dugout, and then then Soto comes in here and everything's hunky dory. You know where the problem is for the Mets, and the problem is Lindor. It's gonna be tough to trade that contract. I think you trade him anyway, and then I say you trade this guy back to the Yankees. Let them have that $700
full
million
rebuild
contract. Imagine what you can get from him, man. It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy.
Absolutely.
We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Do you have a better option when it comes to where you think Lindor, if the Mets decide to trade not only Lindor but also Soto, do you have a better spot that you think he should land other than what we talked about?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I got a question for you.
Okay.
This is my random question for the day. Okay.
Let's hear it.
Can the Dodgers hold off the Brewers to secure the best overall record in Major League Baseball at the end of the season?
Yes. Great episode, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Darren.
Yeah, man. This team is just a much better team than it was last year.
Yeah.
And how sweaty that got with the Phillies there, where you had to rely on a pitching error for them to not have to push it to the 5 games there.
Yeah.
The Dodgers are going to do everything they can not to be in a 5-game series this year. Again, they have all the talent that's coming back. Even their own managers like, oh, this is David versus Goliath here. We're not going to be able to beat these guys. And then we swept them right out of the playoffs. You could have the greatest regular season record. It means nothing to them, for the Dodgers. But if it means they can avoid having to play a wild card team, having the second best record in the National League, having to play one of those 3 games.
And they're going to need that 4 or 5 game stretch to continue to be healthy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You don't know. Anything can happen in a 3-game series, right?
Yep.
And you don't want to be that team that goes out there and has to face the Phillies and their 3-headed monster, with their starting pitchers of Zach Wheeler, that Sanchez kid that almost broke the Bulldogs record. I think it's Sanchez. I can't remember the exact name, but yeah, I think they can, and I think they will. I think they literally built this team to have the best record at the end of the year. You don't win back-to-back World Series. You don't, and then go out in the postseason and sign the top 2 free agents available. unless you want to avoid what happened last year. I think what happened last year is the Jazz
Too
got
close for
sorry,
comfort.
Jazz.
Yeah.
The Dodgers got all the way to the World Series when they were the favorites and then got punched in the face. And then they just were the team that decided not to make the critical mistakes and to capitalize on the other team's mistakes and pull it through. They don't want to have to do that again. So, absolutely. I think not only they can, but they will. It's nice. The Miz is great, but he's not going to pitch every game. He's already dealing with arm fatigue issues, and we're only halfway through the season. So,
Yeah.
We'll
That's
see
what happens when you're throwing 106, man.
Yeah, definitely. We want to hear from you folks. Again, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below when it comes to everything we talked about today on Major League DNA. Also, if you were sticking around on the Jazz side of things, if you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, we have a sub-channel for both subjects we talked about, Major League Baseball, Major League DNA, and also Utah Jazz DNA. Our banners were there. Links to those channels will be in the description down below, so be sure to check us out.
Absolutely. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, just know this is available in its entirety as a podcast, wherever you get your audio.
With all that said, my name is Darren, that is AJ, and this has been an episode of the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.
Let us know what you liked about the set. Give us an answer on that.
Yeah.
Was this cool?
Come on. Also, our light died, so the show's got to be over.
Show's got to be over. And the street people are like literally right out the door. See you guys.